Okay guys, next up here is this 2018 clock from the Leaving Cert Ordinary level. Now what you've got here is the side view, the top view. Now what you would need to know is, like, if that's 80 wide, this is 80 wide here in plan. Like, that's our front view, so that's the front looking down from above. I would recommend setting up the sheet vertically for this rather than horizontally, so it just fits a bit easier if you've got a top view and a side view. So I usually start it off with the center, but there is an argument to be made for starting it off sorry, with the top view, which is 80 by 45. Now nothing goes further to the left, so like once you draw the top view here, that's the furthest left of anything that happens. So I'm going to go there and start off this time with the top view, and then we'll find the corner of the room or where the planes meet, and then we'll do our side view from that. So 45 degrees, keep it well to the left, so that has to be 80. So I'm going to heavy that in. That's my 80. These need to be 45. Now I might just zoom down here a bit. Okay, so that's 80. These need to be 45. So that's the outline of the top view, and I'm going to find the center of this. So that there is top view done. So what you can do then is just come up and pick a dot anywhere and say, right, that's going to be the corner where all the planes meet. Like I say often, kind of like thinking about it like the corner of a room, really looking into it. So that's the left wall. That's where the left and right wall meet. And here's where the right hand wall and floor meet. And what I want to do then is just extend this up light. And pick a spot anywhere to the right of this is fine. And we want to push now our 45 and 60 on top of it. Okay, so I'll just try to get everything in here now on this. So I projected up this line, 30-degree line here. Pick anywhere to the right of this is fine. And that 45, 30 sitting on top, that's an angle of 15 degrees downwards here. And this is an angle of 15 degrees sloping to the right. So that's the edge view of the wall. This is the edge view of the floor, or the horizontal plane. Now we're going to draw in our front view there, so we know it's 80 wide. So the height of this is 90. So this goes up 90. and I'll just take that across there now. Light. And I'm going to get the middle of that, which is 40. And then it goes up 25 more. So that's our front view there, and I'm just going to draw in now that circle, which is down 35 more from here. So it's down 35, and the radius of that circle is 30. So here's our circle. Okay, so I'm going to just put a horizontal line on this as well, because I'm definitely going to be needing that soon. So, and one other thing I'm going to do here is, I know it's a little bit slow now, but if I put that circle in green, and I'm not going to go to too much bother here now, but if I color that circle in here in green, this will help us now in a minute. So because that's 30 to the left and 30 to the right, when I go back down here now to my top view, that circle is 30 to the left and 30 to the right. Of the center. And that's going to be useful. So that's our circle here looking down on top. Now that's going to be useful to us in a second. So I'll just try and zoom back here now to get the whole lot in. Okay, so now I want to start projecting. Now, as I've said before, this is called axonometric projection because we're going to project a 3D view from two 2D views. So the last thing, I'm just going to heavy in. This is the wall. That's the wall running on down here where the wall, and this is the edge view of the wall, or the plane on the left. Yeah, they're like paper thin planes, like they don't have a thickness, they're just edge views of the walls really. So I'm going to start with, here is where it's up against the wall on the right, or the plane on the right. And when I project this down here, you'll find that that lines up if you're accurate. And what I'm trying to always find first is what I call the footprint on the ground. So I'm going to just heavy this in here now. This is what I call the footprint. So it's where the base is on the ground. Now you want to start drawing, because when we're gonna have this done, it's going to look like this. And we're going to have our circle here. So when we're finished, it's going to look something like this, where that's the wall and the floor. So that's the left hand wall, right hand wall, floor. That's what we're going to see. So a mistake people make is they start drawing at the back, but you can't see the back, you can only see the front. So you've got to really find the front corner here, this front corner here. That's what you really want, and once you have that, you're in business. Okay, it just gets easy once you find that front corner. So now, and just adjust that tiny bit. So I projected this up. So now we've got our footprint. Our heights are coming down from here. So that's the top of the right hand side. I'll heavy that in. Now, because that's a 30-degree angle there, I can just take this light across, and that is the top of the left hand side. Now the next thing I want to find out is the center. So be careful now. I'm going to project this front point up here. The highest point in the front. It's up from here, down from here, and that's it. Don't make the mistake, it's not in line with the corner. Alright, you've got to project it. So that's our front. Now I'm going to find the back. So project it up. There's the back. So we can join them. And finally this corner here, I can project it down from here, this back corner, and it's up from there. So that is our object. So I'm going to just heavy in. The lines of intersection there between the ground and the side planes there. So this is the left hand wall, this is the horizontal plane, and this is the right hand plane or wall. Now I'm going to just lighten out now, and that's why you want to set this up light in the beginning, because there's a lot of this that you can't see afterwards. So I'll just lighten off them a little bit. It's not the end of the world now, because you don't want to get rid of all the projection lines completely. So that's our object. So our next problem here now is to draw this circle on it. So this is not the full size. You cannot take measurements off this and put them onto that. You just can't. Okay, so what I'm going to do there is I'm going to, because I'll just prove it to you there, we know this is 80, but this is a reduced size. So if I measure that there, it's only 66. So you can't take real measurements. So I'm going to extend, here's the height of the center. I'm after bringing it out here to the right hand edge. I'm going to project that down and take that back across. Okay, now that does lots for us, because if I use a colour here now, it might help, even though putting colours onto this, but I will, because I do think, you know, it will help you understand what I'm doing. So I'm going to take this red line here and say that is that red line there. So we just brought it out to the edge, brought it down to here, and took it back across. So immediately, this is the furthest left and that's the furthest right. So I can bring them down from here, or I could bring them up from down here, because that's the furthest left and that's the furthest right. So furthest left, and like I said, or I could bring them down from here, furthest right. Now to finish this off, and there's quite an easy enough way to do this now, I'm going to pick, I will measure even though you don't need to measure, but I'm going to go over 10 and 20, and same over here. I'm just going to go 10 and 20. And I'm going to put some vertical lines on here. Will I keep these in red? I think I will. So I'm going to just put some vertical lines on here. Now we know where those vertical lines, the center of them, I'm going to bring down the center of them. So that's the first one. I'm just dotting these now, but you can project, but I try to keep the lines off it. And there. I'll draw one projection line so you can see. So I'm after bringing down those. I know where they are now. Oh yeah, I forgot the center point itself. That's a key one. That is the center point itself. I'll mark that with a C. Now I can put these vertical lines through all of them now, light. So I'm going to put on all these verticals. I can lighten these afterwards, but I'm going to put them in a little bit heavy here now, so you can see these on the video. So ideally they should be red, but I can put them in red afterwards. So now I'm going to start here with the first one in, which is here. So this is the top and this is the bottom. So that there now is that first red line. Then the second one. Top and bottom. Now obviously if you know what you're doing here, you just bring them all down as quick as ever you can, but I'm going to go slowly through this. So here's the top of the curve and the bottom of the curve. So that's here. Even though I didn't have a red line through that, I'll put one in. And I'm going to bring the next one top and bottom. Then next after that I'll bring two this time, top and bottom, and we already have the far right. Okay, so there's all our points, well there's all the red lines. So my next move here now is just to join these. So there's our curve. Now the question is there now, you'd want to be careful here now. Can I see the back? So if I just check the depth, the thickness of this piece and just check there, no, you can't see the back, so we don't need to worry about seeing through. So that is it. Now I could try this off a small bit or whatever, but okay, so there's our circle, and I suppose I will just put a quick bit of color on this here now, seeing as I have it in the front view and in the top view and in my sketch. Okay, so, and again, just how did I find, I drew the circle, took that across to find this point X, and I brought X down to here and took it back across at 30 degrees. So that there I said was the 2018, and that is B3 from the ordinary level.